Good evening, everybody. Quick update. Got the valve covers painted. The 349 is in. So here's what's different. Obviously, the rotating assembly, Wiseco pistons, scat cranking rods, AccuFab. We went to a 90 millimeter throttle body, 4-inch intake tube, 90 millimeter mass air meter, 90 millimeter mass air, and then the same. And then we've got the CompCams short travel lifters, which I had before, but I was putting them back on this build. And other than that, everything else the same. We should be it should be right about 10.7 to 1 compression. So that's up 1.5 points from before. But I don't know, guys. Let me know. This is I got to paint this. I don't like this blue cap. The only reason I got it is because it does have it's got the brass terminals, so I think I'm gonna have to paint that or do something. I don't like the blue, but anyway. And then we've got our new ProMotion dual friction clutch in here. So the only issues I'm really working on was actually this new Moroso pan was leaking. I made a post on Corral.net. And it seems like I'm not the only one that's had that issue. You know, these are fabricated pans, and there's welds, and there's a weld right here down on the side, right at the rail that was dripping. So, obviously, some people said to weld it, but I don't have a TIG welder because it's aluminum. But you know, Jim from ForgedStrokers.com and another poster on there suggested, yeah, just epoxy it up. If it'll seal it up, clean it up real good, hit it with a scuff pad, and put some 2-part JB weld on there, which I did this morning, so I'm letting that dry. So I won't run the car tonight, but I did fire it off, it ran, and then of course I got a scare because the oil pressure sending unit on here must have been bad, because I fired the car up and there was no oil pressure on the gauge, but obviously I used my priming tool before everything and make sure that all the lifters are getting oil. And of course this one right here was the last, and obviously getting the least amount of oil, but a lot of people said this is the rocker arm that's going to get oil, the last one. Everything else is getting good amount of oil, but a lot of people said a lot of times the drill just isn't spinning the pump fast enough to get the volume all the way to the very end. So but I did check. I made sure the push rod was clear, made sure there was no debris in the push rod and everything. So put it back together, got it fired off, got the timing set, and now I'm adjusting the throttle blade that need to be opened up, because I sent an idle log over to the tuner, and he said, yeah, you got to open up your throttle body, it's starving for air. But otherwise he said it looked pretty good. So I'm letting that epoxy cure a full 24 hours. That's on the oil pan, and I'll have I'll do an idle video on it tomorrow. But the next step is I'm gonna have to run around the neighborhood and hit a couple, put some load on it. I got to seat the rings. So the only other thing, which I'll show you guys tomorrow, is it is getting some steam is coming out here, and then I don't know if if maybe I did a smoke test on it this morning. I unhooked it. I hooked my smoke machine up here and blew smoke everywhere. Took the PCV out to see if there was any leaks, and no smoke came out of the breathers. The only place smoke came out was through the air filter here. Didn't come out. Took the PCV out of the back. There was no smoke there. Nothing leaked around the throttle body. Obviously nothing leaked around the intake. So, and I did put RTV on both sides of the gasket on the water port, so that should be sealed up just fine. So I don't know if that's just a normal amount of condensation. That's when I'm getting some steam here, but it doesn't. It's not a lot. I mean, the water is all the way up to the top in the radiator, so I'm not too concerned about that. But until we get it broken in, we'll or at least get the rings seated and go from there. But the main thing was to get that oil leak. So anyway, that is the update for tonight. 349 is in, and it does fire, but unfortunately we had an oil leak, so I can't run it for you guys tonight. I'll try to do that after work tomorrow. All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you.